Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm pleased to yield to the gentleman from Pennsylvania, Mr. Gerlach, 5 minutes, with whom I had the opportunity to visit his Pennsylvania troops in Iraq and Afghanistan.
The gentleman from Pennsylvania is recognized for 5 minutes.
I thank the gentlelady and I thank the Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the status quo in Iraq is unacceptable, and allowing our enemies to win is unacceptable too. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, I urge my colleagues to oppose this House Democrat leadership resolution, H-Con Res 63, for 3 specific reasons. First, the language of the resolution is essentially meaningless. Its passage will place the Congress on the side of the status quo. I heard the Speaker say a few days ago that it's time for a new direction in Iraq. But where is this new direction in this resolution? It doesn't demand that all the troops return home. It doesn't advise the President to send more troops, or even to reassign or relocate one soldier who is in the field today. It simply states, in essence, the current plan is bad. That may be good politics for some in this chamber, but it's highly irresponsible and is certainly no way to fight a war. If Congress wants to be a true partner in this fight, we must offer clear guidance, not mere criticism of the Commander-in-Chief. Unfortunately, this resolution is irresponsibly silent on what the new direction ought to be. The second reason to oppose this resolution is that it is fundamentally vague and ambiguous. By only saying that Congress opposes the President's troop surge proposal of January 10th, the resolution does not differentiate between the positive aspects of what the President called for on that date and the more controversial elements as well. For example, I continue to have a tremendous concern over the President's plan for increasing our military force level in Baghdad to fight the sectarian violence between the Sunni and Shia factions of the Iraqi population. With the current lack of commitment of some Iraqi security forces and police forces to deal effectively with this violence, I'm not confident of success of this surge into Baghdad. Nonetheless, I do think the strategy is correct in calling for additional American troops to go to Anbar province to fight al-Qaeda terrorists in that part of Iraq, and to add more troops along the Iraq-Iranian border to interdict the flow of arms and more terrorists. But unfortunately, again, this resolution does not differentiate between these critical elements of the President's strategy, and therefore on its face is weak and flawed. The third reason to oppose this resolution is that it serves to undercut the morale and the support of our fighting men and women at the very time they're carrying out their orders. The President's decision of January 10th is now being implemented. Our troops are already carrying out this mission in the field. I know of no instance in our nation's history when Congress has passed a resolution disapproving a mission while that mission is in progress in the field. Can any proponent of this resolution come to the floor and cite a case where Congress has undertaken this type of action while a mission is already underway? Any politician, it seems to me, who openly disapproves of an ongoing mission in the field only undercuts troop spirit and morale as they move forward. And that clearly lends support to the aims and the goals of our enemies. But don't accept my view on this. Listen to Gary Carpetius, the national commander of the Veterans of Foreign Wars, who states that this resolution debate is, quote, a major distraction to U.S. forces because it does nothing to improve the morale or strength of their resolve. So while I cannot support this resolution for these reasons, I do believe there is a new direction for us, as Republicans and Democrats tonight unite behind and support. H-Con Res 45, introduced by Congressman Frank Wolf, would declare Congress's support for the numerous recommendations of the bipartisan Iraq Study Group, a distinguished group of Republicans and Democrats that have set forth a plan of action deserving of administration, congressional, and public support. Included in the group's recommendation is the call to establish milestones of success for military training, government stability, national reconciliation, which would result in the Iraqis taking control of their country and allowing our troops to withdraw. Number 2, to create an Iraq International Support Group to work with the Iraqi government to achieve these milestones. And 3, to focus U.S. assistance on training of Iraqi police forces and military personnel with the goal of completing the training by early 2008 so American troops can return home. Contrary to the flawed, simplistic, and purely political resolution before us, the Wolf resolution offers clear, bipartisan, and non-political direction for Congress to support and to promote in this very difficult time in our involvement in Iraq. Therefore, I urge my colleagues to vote down H-Con Res 63 and for the Democrat leadership in the House to immediately allow H-Con Res 45 to be voted in the full House, because the status quo in Iraq is unacceptable and victory for our enemies is also unacceptable. I thank the Speaker and I thank the gentlelady.